Have you ever had something truly special, but risked it all for the promise of something more? Be careful, because the relentless pursuit of more can lead you down a path where you lose everything that truly matters. This story is a powerful reminder that will make you rethink your definition of happiness and success. If you've ever wondered, why am I not satisfied with what I have? This story has the answer. Once, in a quiet, tree-lined town, lived a man named Samuel. He was a skilled carpenter, known for the love and care he poured into every piece of furniture he created. He had a small workshop behind his house, a loving wife, and 2 children whose laughter was the soundtrack of his life. They didn't have much, but their home was filled with warmth, shared meals, and bedtime stories. Samuel had a deep sense of peace. He found joy in the grain of the wood, the satisfaction of a job well done, and the loving smiles of his family. Yet, a tiny seed of discontent had begun to sprout in his heart. He'd see other men in town driving newer cars and building bigger houses, and a voice would whisper, "Is this all there is? You're talented, Samuel. You deserve more." One afternoon, an old acquaintance, Marcus, pulled up to his workshop in a gleaming luxury car. Marcus, who had left town years ago to chase wealth in the city, was the picture of success. He wore a tailored suit and an expensive watch that caught the afternoon sun. "Samuel, my friend," he said with a wide, confident grin, "you're a true artist. But you're playing in the minor leagues. This small-town life is holding you back. Your craft could make you a fortune in the city. Join me. I have connections. We can mass-produce your designs. In a year, you'll be a rich man." Marcus's words lingered in Samuel's mind long after he drove away, a sweet poison seeping into his thoughts. He began to look at his life through a different lens. The familiar scent of sawdust in his workshop, once a source of comfort, now smelled of stagnation. His wife's simple, home-cooked meals seemed bland compared to the fancy restaurants Marcus described. The laughter of his children, once his greatest treasure, couldn't drown out the persistent whisper, "More. You need more." He started believing that a bigger house would make his family happier, that expensive vacations would create better memories, and that a fat bank account would finally bring him the respect he felt he deserved. The conflict brewed within him, creating a rift in his once peaceful home. He grew distant, his mind consumed with blueprints for a grander life. He started snapping at his wife when she asked why he was working so late, and he became impatient with his children, seeing their needs as interruptions to his ambitious plans. One evening, after a heated argument about their future, Samuel made his choice. He announced he was selling the workshop and their home to invest in a large-scale furniture factory in the city with Marcus. His wife pleaded with him, her eyes filled with tears. "We have everything we need right here, Samuel. Don't trade our happiness for the idea of it." But he didn't listen. He was convinced he was doing it for them, blinded by the dazzling promise of a life he thought they all deserved. The move to the city was a whirlwind. The factory was massive, a world of loud machinery and impersonal efficiency, a stark contrast to his quiet workshop. The initial success was intoxicating. Money flowed in faster than he had ever imagined. They moved into a sprawling, sterile apartment in a high-rise building, bought expensive clothes they felt awkward in, and ate at restaurants where the silence between him and his wife was deafening. Samuel had the status he craved. He was no longer just a carpenter. He was a successful entrepreneur, a man of influence. He had everything he thought he wanted. So why did he feel so empty? Why did the reflection in the mirror look like a stranger? To sustain the business's rapid growth, Marcus pushed for cutting corners. "We need to use cheaper materials, Samuel. Plywood instead of solid oak. Faster production, less detail. No one will know the difference," Marcus would argue. At first, Samuel resisted, his craftsman's soul recoiling at the thought. But the pressure to maintain profits and keep the machine of more running was immense. He reluctantly agreed, silencing the voice of his integrity. The furniture that left the factory was a hollow echo of his original work. It looked good from a distance, but it lacked the heart, the strength, the soul. It was a perfect metaphor for his new life. His days became a frantic blur of spreadsheets, supplier negotiations, and endless meetings. He rarely saw his children. When he was home, he was physically present, but mentally absent, his mind still at the factory. The bedtime stories were replaced by late-night phone calls. The shared family dinners became a forgotten memory. His wife tried to connect with him, to bring back the man she had married, but he was lost in a maze of his own ambition. The warmth that had once defined their family had turned into a chilling emptiness that no amount of money could fill. He had more than ever, yet he had never felt so poor. One day, the inevitable happened. A major client discovered the inferior quality of the furniture. The news spread like wildfire. Orders were canceled, and lawsuits were filed. The company, built on a foundation of compromised values, crumbled as quickly as it had risen. Marcus, ever the opportunist, had already secured his own finances and disappeared, leaving Samuel to face the fallout alone. He lost the factory, the apartment, the money, everything. He stood amidst the ruins of his empire, a bankrupt man. But the financial loss was nothing compared to the true price he had paid. When he finally returned to his wife, defeated and broken, she looked at him not with anger, but with a profound sadness. "I never wanted the big house or the fancy cars, Samuel," she said softly. "I just wanted you." It was in that moment that the full weight of his choices crashed down upon him. He had sacrificed his family's happiness, his own peace, and his integrity at the altar of greed. He had chased a shadow and in the process had lost the substance of his life. The journey back was long and humbling. They moved back to their old town, but their home and workshop had been sold. They had to start from scratch, living in a small rented apartment. Samuel took a job working for another carpenter, a man who admired his skill. He swallowed his pride and once again held the familiar tools in his hands. It was different now. Every piece of wood he shaped, every joint he perfected, was an act of repentance, a way of reconnecting with the man he had once been. He started rebuilding his life not with money, but with honesty, love, and presence. He didn't have much, but he was slowly finding his way back to what was truly valuable. A shared smile with his wife, a genuine laugh from his children, and the quiet, solid peace that comes from knowing you have enough. His story is a powerful warning. Be careful what you wish for, because in the race for more, you might lose the very things that make life worth living in the first place. Remember that wanting more things isn't wrong, and that it can help us live better. The problem is that this desire shouldn't cloud our vision, because the simplest things are often the most valuable. Our family, friends, and so on are what truly bring us the purest happiness we could ask for. If you enjoyed this story and it left you with a nice thought, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to read them. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our fantastic stories, which I'm sure you'll love, and like the video so it can reach more people. See you in a new video, friends. Until next time.